Peace to all my gods and goddesses of planet Kai. Okay. I'm ready to get into it because it seemed like these other races, like the Caucasoids, the Mexicans, the Arabs, the Dravidians, and Asians, don't know that we are the Aboriginals and we really run this shit. This is our shit. But y'all just get on my nerves so bad.
So now think about this now. She said that we run this, whatever this is. And I always ask these people, if what you are saying is true, then why are you all saying that you're oppressed? Y'all are telling me that you run everything, you're the gods and goddesses, you made it the cosmos, the ether, melanin, all these great attributes and great powers, but yet you all are still saying you're oppressed by white people. So I'm just trying to figure out, how is this possible? I've never heard a superhero say they were oppressed. You've never heard of Batman isn't even a superhero. He's never even said it. He's an actual regular person. You've never heard a superhero say they're oppressed. So I'm trying to figure out how black people with all this melanin and all these powers are oppressed by white people who are inferior. Let's continue.
I'm ready to start this video. Let me see. First of all, our teeth are shorter than yours are. Y'all teeth is longer and wider. Your canines are longer than our canines, and that's because you have animal genetics. And we don't.
Now, this girl just said our teeth are shorter, but she got a mouthful of veneers. Now think about, you have the God teeth in your mouth, and you get rid of the God teeth to get the white man's teeth. She got a mouthful of veneers. You know, when black folks get veneers, they're always too big for their mouth. I don't know where black folks get their veneers from. When white people get veneers, they look normal. When black folks get veneers, they're just huge. I don't know if it's the price thing. I don't know what it is. But when black folks get veneers, it's too big for their mouth every time. But she said that white people have longer teeth, but she's telling you this as she's covered her teeth up with veneers, the white man's veneers. But let's continue.
The hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach is hotter than ours. You also produce an enzyme in your mouth called emulating amylose and trypsins. Okay? You can break down proteins in meats, and our stomachs can't. We can't break down proteins in meats.
Do you hear what this girl just said? Do you hear what this girl just said? She just said that white people can break down proteins in meat and black people can't. Do you know how many black people live off of eating meat? I don't, again, the title of this is The Magical Mind of the Negro. This girl just said that black people can't break down protein in meat, but white people can. But let's continue. And keep in mind, she has on a Tiffany necklace. So she has on the white man's, so she has the white man's teeth in her mouth, and she has the white man's jewelry on. I'm looking at what I see. So the white man's veneers and the white man's jewelry. Let's continue.
Because of the pepsid and hydrochloric acid that doesn't get hot enough to break down these meats. Okay? We don't have to eat meat. We got our direct energy and food from the sun. Okay? Secondly, your digestive system, where you digest shit, goes through something called putrefaction. Ours can't. Ours go through something called fermentation. A lot of y'all grow tails from y'all animal genetics. Your fur
So now think about this now. She said that we run this, whatever this is. And I always ask these people, if what you are saying is true, then why are you all saying that you're oppressed? Y'all are telling me that you run everything, you're the gods and goddesses, you made it the cosmos, to ether, melanin, all these great attributes and great powers, but yet you all are still saying you're oppressed by white people. So I'm just trying to figure out, how is this possible? I've never heard a superhero say they were oppressed. You've never heard of Batman isn't even a superhero. He's never even said it. He's an actual regular person. You've never heard a superhero say they're oppressed. So I'm trying to figure out how black people with all this melanin and all these powers are oppressed by white people who are inferior.
First of all, our teeth are shorter than yours are. Y'all teeth is longer and wider. Your canines are longer than our canines, and that's because you have animal genetics.
Now, this girl just said our teeth are shorter, but she got a mouthful of veneers. Now think about, you have the God teeth in your mouth, and you get rid of the God teeth to get the white man's teeth. She got a mouthful of veneers. You know, when black folks get veneers, they're always too big for their mouth. I don't know where black folks get their veneers from. When white people get veneers, they look normal. When black folks get veneers, they're just huge. I don't know if it's the price thing. I don't know what it is. But when black folks get veneers, it's too big for their mouth every time. But she said that white people have longer teeth, but she's telling you this as she's covered her teeth up with veneers, the white man's veneers. But let's continue.
The hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach is hotter than ours. You also produce an enzyme in your mouth called emulating amylose and trypsins. Okay? You can break down proteins and meats, and our stomachs can't. We can't break down proteins and meats.
Do you hear what this girl just said? Do you hear what this girl just said? She just said that white people can break down proteins and meat and black people can't. Do you know how many black people live off of eating meat? I don't, again, the title of this is The Magical Mind of the Negro.
Pepsid and hydrochloric acid that doesn't get hot enough to break down these meats. Okay? We don't have to eat meat. We got our direct energy and food from the sun. Secondly, your digestive system, where you digest shit, goes through something called putrefaction. Ours can't. Ours go through something called fermentation. A lot of y'all grow tails from y'all animal genetics. Your fur grows towards the ground. Ours spirals up. It spirals or curls up and grows towards the sun.
What's funny is, first of all, she got face tattoos. Let me tell you something. If a person gets a face tattoo, they don't care about life. A person that gets a face tattoo is chaotic, emotionally unstable, whatever you want to call it. She has face tattoos. Now, she got her beautiful melanin, but she decides to cover up her melanin with ink from the white man. So let me get this straight. You got better teeth than the white man, but you got the white man's teeth. You got your own crystals and onks and all that copper stuff y'all be wearing, but you got on Tiffany's necklace. And you cover up your beautiful melanin with tattoos, the white man's ink. This is the magical thinking of the Negro, just the magical mind. None of this stuff she's saying makes sense. And it doesn't make sense based on her appearance. If she really believed what she was saying, then she would have her own teeth in her mouth. She wouldn't have Tiffany necklace on, and her skin wouldn't be covered up with tattoos.
And like a plant. Because, we are plant-based, right? And you weren't?
But I went to her page, and no, she ain't wearing her real hair. I didn't even get to that. I went to her page. She had on designer. She had on designer clothes. She had on Christian Dior's. She had on the white man's clothes, the white man's Mercedes, the Indian's hair over in India. Everything of another race she got on her body. And I believe she got that BBL too. I'm just saying. She said she didn't get it, but I looked at it. I think she got a BBL. So she got the white man's butt too.
Derived from nature. So that means that you are not innate. Okay? We have a high melanin content inside of our melanin, which is called eumelanin and carbon and neuromelanin, which actually comes from the stars.
I want to go back to the reading. And they didn't want the slaves to read. And I'm here to tell you right now, I really don't want black folks to read. Because when black people read, this is the kind of stuff that happens. It's not good. The more black folks have learned through education, the worse off they've gotten. The more black people read, the worse off they get. Because the problem is that they don't understand any context. So that means what they're reading is going to trick them and deceive them. This girl just said, we got better teeth, we got better skin, we have more melanin, we're derived from the plants, we're derived from the stars. All of this stuff, she said, to make black people the greatest things on the planet, but black folks are crying about being oppressed. If we look at the cotton, though, so because you all know when you have a farm, y'all plant a harvest, and it takes time. It's seed time and harvest. So you got to plant something, you got to tend to it. Then when it matures, you can pick it. So it wasn't just, they make you believe it was just cotton. It wasn't no cotton being picked in the wintertime. How about that? So out of a 12-month year, the slaves wasn't picking cotton all year round. So that means there had to be some times they wasn't picking. So what was they doing? If the slaves weren't picking cotton, what were they doing? Because they told you all that all slaves did was pick cotton and sing songs.
That's why they've been trying to study chemistry, which is the study of all matter. Because we are dark matter energy beings, okay? We also have something called selenium.
They've given us a narrative of slavery that actually isn't realistic. They make you believe they was just beating slaves and slaves was working. They was able to beat the slave like a dog, and then the slave hop up and get to work in the next day. That's not how that works. Those whippings put you out of commission. So even to whoop a slave was going to cost you money. It just doesn't make any sense. But again, the magical thinking is that slaves were superhuman. So they make you believe that a woman was picking cotton. She had her baby in one arm and she was picking cotton with the other hand. And if any of y'all ever pick cotton, you know you got to pick cotton very strategically, because you'll prick your finger. It ain't just grab and go. You got to grab it. You know, so it's not just no. It's a tedious process of picking cotton. But they want to make you believe that she was breastfeeding a baby in the hot sun and picking cotton. It didn't. No. We don't believe it.
You have a low melanin content inside of your melanin. You also have something called ammonia. Okay? We also have something called selenium. You have a low melanin content inside of your melanin. You also have something called ammonia. You also have sulfur, a high concentrate of it. Yeah. The concentration of the amount of sulfur that you have is ridiculous, okay? That's why when you get hot, you actually get cooler. Or if it's colder outside, you actually get warmer or hot. That's why when you see those other races, in the middle of the fucking winter. It's 11 degrees outside. And you have on some shit that looks like this, running around. That's because you get hotter as it gets colder, okay?
You get hotter as it gets colder. Just think about the insanity of what this woman is saying. And yes, her teeth are fake. She said that white people have longer teeth and longer canines because white people are part animal. But yet she took the God-given teeth and she put the white man's teeth in her mouth. It doesn't make any sense. And again, what you'll find is that these people don't actually have to follow what they say, because Black culture says you don't have to say what you mean and mean what you say. You just got to say what sounds good. So this woman is telling you all how great it is to be Black, but yet she's altered everything on her body. Her skin, her teeth, I believe her butt.
These are all facts. I'm just trying to make it easier for you to understand who and what you are, okay? So when you are hot and you get around water, it changes the sulfur mixed with the ammonia and gives off this actual canine smell. That's why they say y'all smell like wet dogs and stuff, okay? RH factor. Yeah, RH factor. Most of y'all have the RH factor, rhesus monkey blood. We don't have animal DNA. We don't. You guys do. You have 2% plant. You have maybe 5% fruit fly. Your skin was grafted from pig's skin. You actually have fur from dogs and lemurs, which makes up about 98-99% of the reason why you smell like and your hair is like these animals. But we don't have animal genetics. Me as a female, I have the mitochondrial DNA. You have 2% plant. You have maybe 5% fruit fly. Your skin was grafted from pig's skin. You actually have fur from dogs and lemurs, which makes up about 98-99% of the reason why you smell like and your hair is like these animals.
So let me get this straight. Now, this girl said that white people are made up of 2% plant, 5% fruit fly, pig skin, fur from 95. The other 95%, she said, well, I should say 93%, is fur from dogs and lemurs. Could you imagine if white people got on a platform, Instagram, YouTube, middle of the street, and said that Black people were this percentage of these animals? Black people would go insane and go berserk. This is also Black privilege. This is also Black privilege. To be able to speak like this on any platform is Black privilege. White people can't talk like this. A white person can't get on social media and just say, we're better than Black people. Our skin is better. Our teeth are better. Our hair is better. And they can't do it.
I don't have animal genetics. Me as a female, I have the mitochondrial DNA and the Eve DNA. Well, I'm going to say DEA because we don't have DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. We have deoxyetheric acid because we come from the ether, and this is ether. So when we get hot on the inside, this shit pushes out of our scalp, hitting the sun, which is turning it black from the dark matter. Huh?
And you know what's crazy, right? Like think about it. Her mind believes this. And listen to what I'm saying. This girl could get on a podium somewhere and speak to the United States. Most Black people would agree with her. Most Black folks gonna agree with this girl right here. They're gonna agree with her. They're gonna agree with her. Everything she's saying is pure BS. If y'all were as special as she said you all were, you all would not be hollering about you oppressed. Y'all was crying about Trump. Y'all were just crying about Trump sending out a tweet. And y'all are the etheric beings. Y'all are made from the same stuff as the universe, the stars, and the planets. Y'all was scared of Trump, but you're telling me you're also a god and a goddess. Y'all are scared of the police, but you're also a god and a goddess. And you love yourself so much that you alter your appearance to look like who? Multiple abortions, baby daddies, toxic relationships. Like she fits all this talk sounds good, but them face tattoos tell me everything. Them face tattoos tell me everything.
Y'all don't have the 9 ether genetics because you did not derive from nature. You are not innate. Y'all don't give a fuck about nature. Y'all cutting down trees. Y'all building houses. Y'all stealing all of Mother Gaia's oil, which is her blood. Fuel. All of this shit pollution is creating the global the global warming shit. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. The melting of the ice caps and all that shit like that. Yeah.
This is why it's so dangerous when black people learn something. Because most of the time what black folks learn is foolishness. Because black culture says learn something foolish. Black culture don't say get a trade, get a skill set. Black culture says find a way to prove you're better than white people.
Now we are actually the true beings of completion because we have 9 ethers. And again, you have 6 ethers. We're created from a genetic splicing program from one of our gods who was jealous of us. His name is Yakub. If you want to do the etymology or find out who this person is, he is one of the 24 scientists. He was one of the gods. He was one of the fallen gods. They weren't angels. They were gods. Y'all have blue veins from a genetic splicing program, which makes y'all single cell organisms. I have green veins from the gamma radiation that's hitting my planet, which comes from the sun, meaning that I am a smaller version of the larger chromosome, the largest orb, which is the sun. I am condensed sunlight, okay? I am the Hulk. That's where they get this shit from. I have green veins from the gamma radiation, just like the Hulk.
Listen, y'all. When they said they didn't want slaves to read, this is why. Now, this girl took us on this journey, and now we've arrived to the point where she's telling you that she's the Hulk.
Our spirit is just like the sun. See, y'all don't have a soul and a spirit because we are 9 ether beings created from the melanin that's in the nighttime sky, from the Etherian cosmic mother. Yeah. Okay? Let's not forget. And y'all's whole genetic makeup later. We have a soul and a spirit because we are 9 ether beings created from the melanin that's in the nighttime sky, from the Etherian cosmic mother. Yeah. Again, we don't have hair. That's fur. We have ether.
Well, if y'all got ether, then why do y'all keep putting other people's non-ether on top of your ether? Why, if y'all got so much ether, why don't y'all ever have any edges? Let y'all tell the ether don't have any borders. Ether is just continuous. Ether don't have any limits, but y'all got edges. So y'all ether only goes so far on y'all edge, on y'all scalp. Why is that? Why don't y'all have any edges, and why do y'all put other people's hair on top of your ether?
And y'all's whole genetic makeup and species is about 28% Neanderthal, and we have less than 1% Neanderthal in our DEA. We are electromagnetic, multi-dimensional, 9 ether, carbon, melanated beings.
Well, here's my question to all my black hoteps and hotepsters. How did y'all get conquered by the white man? If y'all have all of the advantages from your skin, from your hair, to your biological makeup, to the sun, everything is created prosper. Then how in the world did the primitive white beast conquer you all? The melanated, carbon, nine ethered beings. Y'all said that white folks were walking on all fours in the caves. So what white cave person came up with the idea, let's go conquer the advanced civilization of human beings down there?
Again, y'all was cloned from us through Yakub. Cloning existed in the cosmos through a process called parthenogenesis. There was a group of 99 women, the Council of 99. They was like, shit, they want to create, they want to keep on doing it with themselves. So guess what? They created and cloned through a process called parthenogenesis and created your first god. And his name was Yakub, Satan. Okay?
So she said that the Council of 99 women created gods. So the 99 women created the gods, and the first one was named Yakub/Satan. Do y'all see a pattern here? How it doesn't have to even make any sense. It doesn't have to flow cohesively, none of that. You could just say it, and if it sounds good, roll with it. She said that white people are 28% Neanderthal. 28% Neanderthal. But when I go to the black community, that's where I see the most barbaric behavior, or Neanderthalic behavior is in the black community, the most savage behavior. You go to any country where there's a bunch of black folks living there and it ain't good.
But just to say, we are not biologically the same. We are different, my love. Your molecular structures are different and they function different. And you can look at the vagina of a black woman and it looks different from any other race in the cosmos, in this multiverse. We have Henrietta Lack cells or Hella cells. Y'all have animal cells. That's why they've been putting human meat, people that look like me, they kill them, grind them up, put the shit in the meat all across America so that you guys can survive, because without the melanin, you cannot be here. That's why.
So now this superior being is saying that her and her kind are being killed all over the country and fed to the primitive white people so they can survive. She just said that white people can't survive without melanin, so they have to eat black people. And I believe she probably was even a stripper, honestly. And I look at her, she probably strips or used to be a stripper. I don't know. She got some kind of scam or hustle now, but she's probably a stripper, sex worker. All of that going on, but white people are primitive and she's better than them.
Y'all are cooking and frying from this sun. Y'all just wait till the second son comes, baby. The second son is not the second coming of Jesus. That's the problem. Y'all keep on believing this book that was created to enslave us. The second son is the second coming of the son. The black women have immortal cells that does not die. But the other races die in 40 days. They're not going to teach you this shit in school. That's why we need our own educational systems. We need our own banking systems. We need our own curriculum.
You know what I find comical about black people having their own? Black folks have their own stuff. They just don't run it properly. And if you go to any city where there's some Moors there, go look at their little Moorish temple. Tell me how it looks.
We need a church that's going to teach what I'm teaching.
Let's say this one right. Let's say she was in charge of Kansas. Let's say her right here. Let's say she ran the state of Kansas. Could you imagine what would happen to Kansas? Could you imagine what she'd be doing? She'd be terrorizing people.
It's playing in all of our faces. Unless you've corrected your status and authenticated your birthrights, you're always going to be a slave to them. Citizen means slave. City means municipal. Zen means servant. So when you put those two words together, you got municipal servant of the United States government to be a fucking slave. And y'all think everything that I be talking every day for a whole fucking year is cap. It's because that y'all don't know what I know. Y'all only know what y'all grandma and y'all great grandma taught y'all. They've been fighting the same war for millions of years. They just keep changing the names of it. It's the same fucking war. We're trying to fight these demons, these draconians and reptilians for landing on our planet in 1492. Because that's when they came here. They invaded our land in 1492.
So I'm assuming Christopher Columbus is what she's talking about. So he was an alien. He was a reptilian. And he came to this planet in 14. Now, listen.
They're trying to distract us. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to keep us so stuck into their matrix and into their system so that we cannot do what I'm doing every day, illuminating and trying to educate all of my people that look like me. I'm trying to educate y'all, but y'all figure, oh, well, she's being racist. No, sweetie, I'm not racist. Now, prejudice, yeah, I might be prejudiced, but I'm not a racist. Because some of my family looks like y'all. You feel me?
This is how these people think. And again, it's magical thinking because it's not reality. Nothing that she's saying is reality. Everything in her life is provided by white people. From her car to her clothes, everything. Buying that black soap, going to the African shop, getting some black soap every now and then, get some hair products. Everything you do, 99% of it is from the white man. From the jewelry to the hair to the BBL to the tattoos to the teeth to the car, the house, everything white people.
Sometimes I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
And see, the problem is that what he said is spot on. Black people, out of all of the races on the planet, have the least amount of wisdom and discernment. You know why? Because black people base everything on appearance. So black people don't see the nuance in anything. All black folks see is skin color. Everything is about race with black people. Math is racist. This institution is racist. School is racist. The test are racist. Police racist. Government racist. Media racist. News. Black people only tunnel vision. What he said is spot on. They have no wisdom, no understanding, no discernment. This is the average black person. No kind of wisdom. They don't see the nuance in nothing. Everything is about race.
Hey, forget. I said don't lament. It's very different.
Nobody is omitting to it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to give white people a pass for what they did to my.
Now, hold on. This clip is from Locked In with Zaza.
I didn't say forget. I said don't lament. It's very different.
Nobody is omitting to it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to give white people a pass for what they did to my people.
You don't even know what white is. We've already established that. You don't know the definition of white. You say white people are from Europe. I asked you about Elon Musk. I asked you, is Elon Musk an African American? He's a white man that was born in Africa who currently lives in America.
They all white.
And what, is he white or not?
Right, so
what is white people? What is white people?
Is Elon Musk white?
What you mean?
Because he's not from Europe.
Esau?
Yeah, what is Esau?
Or is he African American?
Red?
No, what do you consider white people?
The devil?
Mama, we on live.
That's racist. That's racist.
Do you see how freely black people can talk about white people with no consequence? Just you can go back and look at clips of your most racist white people talking in the 50s and 60s, and they wasn't talking like this. You can go back and listen to clips and watch video footage of white people talking about black people, and they wasn't talking like this. They wasn't calling black people subhuman, mixed with dog and rat. They wasn't talking like that. Y'all talking worse about white than white talked about black. That's a fact. We got video footage to prove that. This girl's mama just said they're devils. The other girl said they wasn't even human.
If I had a white person on here who said he considers black people the devil, y'all would all be upset.
I mean, no, you can't be upset. It's just she lived in a totally different generation than we did.
But
that's
nonetheless, if a white person said that black people were
generation.
the devil, there would be an issue. And we know this.
Now, this girl said it would be okay for black people to call, for white people to call black people the devil. That's a lie. That's a lie. White people get condemned for saying the truth. White people get condemned for telling the truth. No racial slurs, no none of that. Just by telling the truth, white folks get condemned. I remember when Montrezl Harrell got into it with Luka Doncic a couple of years ago. I think it was in the bubble. And he called him a slur, but it was kind of like you blank white boy, right? But it got captured on cameras. Everybody was talking about how he said it. Everybody rushed to the defense of Montrezl Harrell saying a racist statement on the court. Montrezl Harrell brought up Luka Doncic's quote-unquote skin color, which nobody's white or black, but he tried to bring it up. And the media tried to cover for Montrezl Harrell. Stephen A. Smith even said, well, Luka Doncic is not white. He's from Europe. Now, let's flip it. Now, let's say Luka Doncic said, blank, black boy. The media is going into a frenzy. Then all of a sudden, he's white. He's not white when you bring up his color in a negative way, but if he brings up your color, he becomes white again. So y'all can't tell me that there's no such thing as black privilege. It's a lie. Black people got the thinnest skin, the most fragile egos, the most emotional on the planet. White people can't even tell y'all the truth without y'all crying and complaining. Trump said, what you got to lose? And it's a very fair question because y'all losing. He's racist. Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And y'all said we voting. Most of y'all said he was right.
Okay, well,
I'm the devil. I think you're the devil. Stay away from you.
Devil means deceiver.
Black folks be so tough on social media. Black folks be so tough on social. Oh, you call me. I think you a devil. You call me. Yeah, right.
And white people are deceivers because that's what their history.
All white people. So you know every white person.
Not all white people.
All white people.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
racist.
I'm
they
not
are.
saying all white
I
people.
am.
But
I'm prejudiced.
That's right.
She brings up a good point. And then she says, well, you saying all white people? They say, no, not all white people. Then change your language. Then say some white people. Say a few white people. Say the ones I've encountered. But guess what? That takes too much to do. They want lazy speech. If all else fails, they can point and blame the white man. That's most black men. Most black men are cowards. Most black men didn't want to get that shot, but they got the shot because their baby mama said get it, because their wife said get it, because their mama said get it, because their grandma said get it. Most black men took that shot because of what the women said. Most black men are weak. They're cowards. And to have the audacity to even want to speak after saying that you agree with Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. I started a whole campaign behind that. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's why I said, I ain't black, I'm free. Imagine being under that much mind control where you believe that your blackness is tied to a white man. Do you know how insane that is? Do you know how nuts that is? Y'all never heard Donald Trump say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Ever. You've only heard Donald Trump give praise to black people. You've never heard Donald Trump say anything negative about black people. But you heard Joe Biden say it multiple times. And you voted for him. You know why you voted for him? Because most black people are stuck in this psychosis. That's why I call it the Blatrix. It's programming overload to the extreme. A black person can't even exist without a white person. They can't even exist. They wouldn't know what to do. I ain't black, I'm free. And everybody talks about the 5 boys in the New York, the Central Park 5, but they admitted to doing it though. They admitted it. One of them admitted to touching the girl. They admitted to being there. And if you go back during that time period, there were people of all races upset at what happened to that young lady. All races. It wasn't just Trump. It's easy to revisit history from the bliggity black lens. I don't do that. So again, we're going to deal with facts about the case. There's a difference between somebody having an opinion about a group of people and someone telling a nation of people, if y'all don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's something totally different. The black church is an extension of communism. So again, we're going to speak in context. We don't do bliggity black stuff on this page. We just don't do it. We deal with the facts. Those young men said they did it. I can go right now on my page and show y'all countless of incidents of black people doing crimes and getting off, getting released. It's easy. It's everywhere. And folks that follow me know when I do my little videos with the police and how people get caught with kilos of cocaine, don't nothing happen to them. Shoot somebody, get out of jail. Wait, it's crazy stuff. Black folks getting away with murder, literally. The reason why he's here, Zaza, is because he is an agent of chaos and destruction. He's the same person that said he agrees with Joe Biden when Joe Biden says that you're not black if you don't vote for him. He agrees with illegal immigration, even though all the studies show that illegal immigration affects black men's employment the most. I deal with facts. Most of these liberal black men are nothing but either they're communists or they're communists and they're LGBTQ. So if you notice, most of your black men talking that bliggity black stuff, if you're really digging between that and then they pass, they messing with some men. You can look at all your prominent black leaders and they either messing with children or messing with the same sex.
This is what he said. He said, when I got a problem, I'ma slide right through. Of course I walk by faith, but I drive by too. Some people need to know that if they keep putting their mouth on you, of course I'll walk by faith, but I'll drive by too. Either y'all can't fight or y'all fronting. Cause let somebody put their mouth or touch your kids. Of course I walk by faith, but I drive by too.
Now keep in mind, this guy's a pastor and he's quoting a battle rapper named New Jersey Twerk. Now this is a pastor preaching in front of a congregation, and listen to what he is saying. The black church is going to be the gateway to the Antichrist. Make no mistake about it. What the black church is a cesspool for Satan. The black church is an extension of the Democratic Party. It's an extension of communism. It's an extension of the LGBTQs. The black church is the cesspool of Satan. You can't make this stuff up.
Well, you know we've been discriminated against. Will you shut up? You know they had us here as slaves, you know. They brought us from Africa. My God! You say that one more time, I'm going to choke you. One more time. If I hear that one more time out of you, I'm going to choke your tongue out your mouth. Well, let me repeat. Let me repent for that. Lord, forgive me for saying I'm going to choke somebody.
How could the Republicans appeal to black people? How? What? Think about it. How can Republicans appeal to black people? What policy could Republicans share with black folks that black folks say, okay, we're going to vote Republican now? Or even independents? What could any other political party do to get the black vote that doesn't involve that party selling their soul? Black people have created an inescapable conundrum because black people are asking other groups to appeal to them, but they're also asking that group to sell their soul in the process. They're not going to do it. What's the purpose? The Democratic Party doesn't mind degeneracy and decadence. They don't care about it. Death, destruction, and damnation. That is what black culture wants. That is the appetite of black culture. That's what it wants. It doesn't want anything that's going to be helpful. You cannot help black people. And I said this before, you cannot help black people. You can't do it. Because what black folks are asking for goes against God's word. Black folks are asking for a free pass. Black folks are asking to be able to do wrong and have no consequence. That's what black folks are asking for. Black folks are asking for the very same thing that the children of Israel were asking for when they were headed to the promised land. The same way that black folks was harassing Moses is the same way they're going to harass leaders today. Let us sin in peace, Moses. They said, Moses, let us sin in peace or send us back to Pharaoh. Black people need God, not some kind of program or some kind of handout. Black people need God. That's the problem.
Our government has been charged with a crime, a danger to humanity. As of right now, we have no government. So the planetary judge is forcing our government to give the rightful owners back their land, which is us. The planetary judge is ordering us right now to stop calling ourselves Black African American.
Who is this planetary judge? Who is this planetary judge that black folks have never seen? This planetary judge is forcing the government to do something. But the other lady says on her, this came from her page, that black folks were superheroes and gods. So how are y'all gods and goddesses, but you can't get your land back? How are you all gods and goddesses, but you cannot get your land back? We have to make this make sense. This doesn't make any sense.
Also, to shut down Black Lives Matter. Because in the law dictionary, the word black and African American is patterned as we're dead already. So the planetary judge wants us to go by our nationality. Hebrew Israelite, Moor. America is not America. The real name for America is Mary. You go look up the Freedom of Information Act to find out the other stuff you need to know. The reason why they've been charged with a danger to humanity is because the flesh pit that they found in Texas, they did a DNA sample on it. And the DNA come back 9 series. We the only people on earth that has a 9 series DNA. But the Bible said we came from the dirt. So, with that being said, they've been charged with a danger to humanity because we have served 400 years as indentured service to this country. We're in debt because our government, Washington, D.C., is an entity that's not a part of our country. And they've been ordered to get off these lands. And right now, our own country is setting up a war against the citizens of the country. They don't want to give us our land back. They don't want to free us either. So that's why you're seeing all these factories being burnt up, trains derailing, water getting bad, because they know they have to give us our land back. They've been ordered to leave this land.
And a friend of mine says it's just magical. That's what it is, the magical mind of the Negro. Just you'll make up anything to fit the delusion. This is insane. Some planetary judge is making the government, let me guess, give black folks their land back.
Planetary judge has ordered us to stop paying bills, going to work, because they have to pay us reparations. Africa, China, and Russia is about to go against America for them to free us.
Now, imagine the narcissism, the level of delusion and narcissism to think that all this stuff going on in the world is about black people. And black folks can't read, can't write, or do math. Black folks are still hollering about they're oppressed. Black folks have the highest abortion rate, the highest homicide rate, the highest STD rate, the highest disease rate. Black people are ranking first in everything that's bad. But the whole world is concerned about a group of people killing themselves. Can you imagine the narcissism in that? Black people are going to get nothing but chains. They're going to get digital chains. Most black folks are jabbed up, snake bitten, consumer property, still wearing a mask. So if you believe that black folks are going to get their land back, you're insane. Black folks are still wearing the mask. Black folks are defending TD Jakes. Black folks are still worshiping Barack Obama. Black folks still believe that one drop of blood makes somebody black. There will be no freedom for black people. Black folks ain't finna get nothing. Y'all been talking about this for years. This whole black rhetoric stuff came from the communist Jews over there in Europe. They created all this stuff. All this black empowerment, all this black esoteric stuff, that stuff came from over in Europe from the communists to give black people hope and delusion. If somebody took your land, you don't deserve it, because God said go in there and possess the land. See, what black folks want to do is black folks want to bypass what God said and do it their way. Black folks' way is never going to work. So if you lost your land, you deserve to lose it. My family didn't lose their land. I can trace my family back to the indigenous and all that. We can go back to Oklahoma. We can go back to Arkansas, Georgia. We can trace Virginia. We can trace it all back. They didn't lose their land. So if you lost your land, you deserve to lose it. There's no way you could be following God and lose the land. So the fact that black folks lost their land lets me know they wasn't following God. You don't deserve your land back. White people lost land in the Civil War too. Warrior's Dream said, Proverbs 2 verse 21, chapter 2, verse 21. For the upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. Thank you, Warrior's Dream. Proverbs 2 and 21. For the upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. So if you lost your land, if the white folks took your land, according to the scripture, you wasn't upright. You didn't have any integrity. I've never read this scripture, but go back to what I said previously a couple of seconds ago. I said, if you lost your land, it was because you was being disobedient. You don't deserve your land back. The prodigal son left with his inheritance. He went to the city, which a lot of these black folks did. A lot of these black folks sold what they have to go live the city life. The prodigal son left his father and brother and went to the city, spent all his money, and he came back. When he came back, his father gave him the ring and the robe and embraced him. I love you. He cried, all that. But guess what? He didn't own nothing. When the prodigal son returned, he didn't own nothing. Remember, he smoked his inheritance in the city with the thoughts and the heathens. But when he came back to his father, he didn't own that. So now the rest of his days would be spent working for his father. And then when he passed, working for his brother. Welcome to what happened to black people. Y'all ain't getting nothing.
He doesn't understand the world. He's never built anything. The most the black people have ever done, they did it here in America under white people's help. When they were in Africa, they didn't do nothing.
New thing called classism. It's racism's cousin. This is what we do to hold people back. This is what we do. And we got this other thing that's also been working for a long time where you don't have to be racist anymore. It's called self-hate. It works on itself. It's like real estate of racism. Where just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. That's who I think I am. Would it have been better if I had a song that said, I am a nigga? Or if I had a song that said, I'm a gangster? Or if I had a song that said, I am a pimp? All those colors and patinas fit better on a person like me, right? But to say you are a god, especially when you got shipped over to the country.
If Jesus is black, I ain't going to heaven, because heaven it would be if Jesus is a black man, heaven is a ghetto, and they're up there shooting now and living on food stamps. If Jesus is black, that's what heaven gonna be like, and I ain't going. Not if Jesus is black, because heaven gonna be a ghetto. They'll be shooting, robbing, murdering, playing loud music at night, and won't work. If Jesus is black, I ain't going. I'm going to heaven. No, sir.
Black folks are spending $1.8 trillion a year. You don't have a leg to stand on in this argument. If you want the generational wealth, then stop spending money on foolishness and invest in your legacy and your children and your grandchildren. But this notion that the government has to give black people something is insanity. Or that white people have to give black people something is insanity. If you want something on this earth, then give it to God. Show God you're really serious by helping others achieve the goals that you want. How about that? How about that? How about y'all, instead of wanting to be gods and goddesses, how about y'all, whatever y'all want out of this world, y'all help somebody else achieve it? Black folks, the most selfish group on the planet. Don't think about nobody else. Don't think about being of service or being a steward. All black folks think about is me, 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 me. That's why y'all ain't got nothing, because you're selfish. Your heart is wicked. You're selfish.
You're doing so bad. Because we do not worship God in our own image and likeness. You're not supposed to worship other people's images. It's the first commandment in the Bible. I don't know how they do this, but they do it. You know God's name really, and it's not yours? How did you manage to do that? You don't know your name, but you know God's name.
So that's the root of all this confusion?
Of all of this, yes. Where are the African gods? Did they leave us on our journey over here? Where are the African gods? Will we know them when they suddenly appear? The ones dismissed with voodoo, rock and roll, and all that jazz. And jungle mumbo jumbo. And razzmatazz. Where are the African gods who live within the skin? Within the skin, without the skin, and in the skin again. Do they hide among the shadows while we stumble on the way?
I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
1, the black woman is God. And 2, what makes the black woman God? Why is she God? So do y'all know that the black woman is the only woman, the only living thing on this planet that can perform parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis is having the ability to reproduce on its own. It don't need no sperm. And only the black woman has that shit. Only her.
Have y'all ever seen a queen do an immaculate conception? Have y'all ever seen a queen do an immaculate conception? That is, have a child with no involvement from a man.
Oh, and the black woman has the X and the Y chromosome. Only her. And H3O2 is only found in the black woman's breast milk and in fruits. Yes, the black woman was the first thing ever created from source. We talking about the black woman's soul.
This is why I say that most black folks are under demonic possession, because most black folks agree with what he is saying. They agree with, they just accept it like it's true. He looked half crazy. He looked half crazy. Your eyes open that wide for what reason? He looked surprised. He looked scared. He looked intrigued all at once. Why is his eyes that wide? For what reason? He's crazy.
They named the state California after the goddess Queen Khalifa. And you know they don't like to put us on the cover of shit. What do they know about you?
Go to Walgreens, go to Rite Aid, go to the grocery store, go to the magazine section, and just look how many black faces you see on the magazines. Go look at the sides of buses, inside the train, billboards. Black people are plastered all over these cities. And the magazines, and they in all the movies. Black folks are 12% of the population. And I would venture to say, get most of the representation in the country.
That you don't, goddesses. Hey, to all my goddesses out there, man, I love y'all. We've been through hell and back on this planet, but we still here. Sub to my YouTube at Alchemist JP for more.
Christina Miller says, California is after the goddess Kali, a Hindi god. It is where we get thug from. Kali thugs, Hindu robbers. The most commonly believed origin is from a mythical character, Queen Calafia, created by Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo, created in his romantic thriller, The Adventures of Esplandian, published in 1510. In this fictional tale, Queen Calafia was an Amazon warrior queen who ruled over the island of California. Yo, so come to find out that this Queen Calafia is a fictional character, and black folks done ran with it. And the woman's from the Amazons. The man came up with this in the 1500s. Not thousands of years ago. This is the 1500s. Etymology of California. Hale concluded that when Spanish explorers came upon the Baja California Peninsula, they named it California after the fictional island in D. Montalvo's book, because explorers thought the peninsula was an island east of the Indies, similar to the island described in Montalvo's novel. So, sorry, black people. It wasn't Queen Khalifa. Y'all made that up. Listen, you all. I love y'all.
He doesn't understand the world. He's never built anything. The most the black people have ever done, they did it here in America under white people's help. When they were in Africa, they didn't do nothing.
Well, you know we've been discriminated against. Will you shut up? You know they had us here as slaves, you know. They brought us from Africa. My God! You say that one more time, I'm going to choke you. One more time. If I hear that one more time out of you, I'm going to choke your tongue out your mouth. Well, let me repent for that. Lord, forgive me for saying I'm going to choke somebody.
I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
Listen, I love you all. Thank y'all so much. I will be back on probably Wednesday, but I thank you all so much for tuning in today. I love y'all. The super stickers. Thank you so much, Cruise Missile. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Randall Hampton, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. And Star Baby, Proverbs 10:29. I'm going to look it up. But thank you, Star Baby, so much. I love you all. I want y'all to have these happy holidays. Some of you all may celebrate Christmas. Some of y'all may not. I don't know. But I want y'all to have a happy time with your family and your loved ones. And hopefully y'all will have a blessed time during these holidays. I love y'all. Thank y'all and good night.